I just believed I had no purpose anymore. And my family gave up on me. My friends gave up on me. And the only one that I had that didn't give up on me passed. So I gave up. I went back to my old ways of violence, lust, stealing, robberies, you call it. My name is Paul Balatico. I was at my lowest point when my best friend, Jal, got murdered. And that took a toll on my life. It was just like everything was happening at once. Yeah, my best friend passed 6 days before my birthday. My other best friend was in jail, and all of us was best friends with Jal. I was having family problems at the time too, especially when I told my dad Jal got murdered. I tried to open up to him, and then I broke down in front of him. And then my dad just basically told me I was crazy. So that night, after my dad told me I was crazy, basically, I tried to kill myself. I was lost. Like, I was mentally stuck. And I isolated myself, but also to the times that I didn't, I still felt alone. And there was times where I was still like, I'll go play basketball with my friends, or I would just be at a party. No one was able to understand what I was going through. I mean, like, I don't blame them. It's like, it's unusual for like a 16-year-old to lose their best friend, right? So yeah, I still felt alone, even the times I didn't isolate myself. Before Jal passed, I was already trying my best, like, to change my life. But then, as soon as Jal passed, I went back to robberies, lust, scamming, stealing. And I think the most that got to me was trying to find the guy that murdered my best friend. And I was trying to, like, get him back, like, kill him. And I think that was like the hatred that was being built up in me. As much as I can say everyone gave up on me, there was like 2 people that tried. But since I hated everyone, I just thought the love they were trying to show me was fake. And every time they tried to reach out, I would not answer calls, I would not answer texts. Yeah, I guess that affected a lot, because they were trying to show me real love, but I didn't want it because I thought I'd be seen as weak for opening up, so I don't want to talk to anyone. I just always cried by myself. And I thought God owed me something. That was going through my head a lot. Since God allowed my best friend to be like taken away, I thought God owed me something. Things started to change for me when I started to have faith.
Reasons people seek help from a professional varies. Some people it's trauma, some people needing somebody to talk to, some people are just wanting support, and some people are wanting change. Most people actually all want change. He really was going through it from a very young age. A lot of things that were happening to him, a lot of things that it kind of seems like a lot of scars that he was not the one that caused. And so all of that kind of set the foundation and the ground footing for a lot of struggle. And then also compounding stress that happened over time. So for Paul, he started using substances, engaging in some high-risk behaviors, overindulging in high-risk behaviors, and that could have been a telltale sign that like something's wrong, something's going on here. And it appeared as though he also had a lot of anger. And so anger is also, it's a protective emotion. Anger usually is secondary to hurt. And so he's hurting. This is why this is all happening. And he doesn't know what to do with it.
I started noticing changes in Paul when we had this one conversation at school. And basically we had a conversation about community and church, how you can't be alone in Christ, that you need a community. It was about little things, you know? And this guy stopped cussing. This guy actually, dropped every criminal activity, because I wasn't seeing him doing these things anymore. I wasn't hearing about him, these things anymore. And this guy was talking to me about church and community, and I was like, yo, this guy is changing. That's when I realized, like, yo, this guy's actually becoming like Christian, I'm not the only Christian in school.
I started noticing when he was posting videos on Snapchat or on his stories, spreading the gospel. And he was telling people we're not here alone. God was with us and through hard times and through times of depression or that's when I started noticing Paul coming to Christ.
I took that step first by having faith. I remember telling God back then where my faith was just small. I don't have big faith, but I'm gonna try 10%. And that faith moved big mountains. And I started praying for a community, better friends, because I was always used to friends that are bad, criminal friends. And then I was just so used to that. So I was praying for friends that could help me in my walk, that could help me prosper into my journey. And then, yeah, I took that step, and the community really did a big part. Community helped me a lot by letting me see the beauty of life.
Anyone in Paul's shoes can also recognize that, although Paul's story, he found his change in a different way, that doesn't mean that your change has to come the exact way. So there is change, but there has to also be a willingness to change. So it seems like there was a level of surrendering that Paul did and willingness to push himself that each individual at some point should have a level of commitment to do. So start your journey and see where it goes. But the only importance is you have to start.
Seeing Paul now compared to how things was back then, yo man, this guy was a bad guy, He
was a menace to society. This guy, the videos I'll see him do, I was concerned about his life. Him robbing people, him fighting people too, robbing people broad daylight. It's insane.
Back then, I didn't really see no purpose, no joy, and just always seeing drugs, weapons, stolen cars, and all around me. There was a deep part inside of me where what am I doing with life? It's I'm so young, I'm 14, 13, 15, doing all these things. What is my future gonna look like? It's either I'd end up in jail or death.
Paul now, he actually changed a lot of things in the city, to be honest. I can't lie, he changed a lot of things in the city. He brought a lot of people close to Christ. Even me, myself too, he brought me close to Christ.
He's a man of God now. He's actually changing people's lives. He's appointed and anointed by God. He's actually out here doing kingdom business, kingdom work, all go to God.
I never thought I'd be going up on stage talking about God, or me talking about my story about how I changed my life. I just always thought I was gonna die before 18 because of the life I was living. But now it's just it's speechless. If you told me 2 years ago, I'd be at this spot right now where I'm hosting events, even modeling for brands and all these places, I would just laugh. And I don't know, things are just very different now.
And as youth, we should be showing the people that it's hard to, deny your flesh and pick up your cross every single day, but it's so much worth it, it's necessary. That I never thought I'd be here 2 years ago. But I'm here now. Glory to God.